Bull handled the tech, and Moneybags provided the Mora. It just made the most sense.
It's a pity that so few people know the truth about you. Everyone says that you...
So? What's the problem with that? Everyone...
But surely you have dreams of your own beyond just making Mora.
You don't get it, do you? My dream is to invest in other people's dreams. And, make a nice little slice for myself along the way. Just thinking about it makes me happy.
Thank you.
For the...
And the pendant.
Oh, that. I was just returning a favor.
Seems like we've both been away from home for a very long...
Yeah. So long that I barely...
That would be your mother...
Yeah. Though it's been years since my sister passed away. It's not like I want to forget them, obviously, but memory can be even more ruthless than the most calculating business person. My sister can't help me now. Slowly but surely, her face is fading from my mind's eye.
Not everything will fade. When loved ones pass away...
Yeah, that's true. If you ask me...
Well, that, plus, I'm sure that life is much better now than it was back then.
Oh, absolutely. I have tons of Mora, a big beautiful house, business is booming, and I'm as happy as can be. You've got a lot going for you too. Boss of the Curatorium of Secrets? I'm sure there's plenty of Mora.
I appreciate the vote of... Ah, Lord Sangama Bay. I must thank you.
Why come and ask? That's more like it. A little gratitude goes a long way with Lord Sangama Bay. Play your card.
The chance to work with such a kind and charitable...
Huh?
Let's see. It's nothing to...
How?
You're a curious Kate, but I'm afraid no matter... You did it for Sumeru.
It was empty land. Disasters are capricious things. They strike without any warning. I've lost family to a disaster before, and I don't want to lose any friends or business partners if I can help it. My elder sister used to dream of finding a sanctuary. It was something I looked into. The tech people have...
It's a pity that...
So?
But surely you have...
You don't get it, do you? Just thinking about it.
Thank you.
For the...
And the pendant.
Oh, that.
Seems like we've both...
Yeah. So long that...
That would be your...
Yeah. It's not like my sister can't help me now.
Not everything will...
Yeah.
Well, that...
Oh, absolutely. You've got a lot going for you too, boss.
I appreciate the...
How have you been holding up? Any adverse reactions? If you start to take a turn for the worse...
You don't need to worry about me, Grandmaster. I'm fine.
What?
You played an indispensable role in the battle for Nodcry. Sometimes, when people praise you, it's because you deserve it.
Let's do a quick demonstration. Albedo, that was an incredible feat of...
Thank you. I can't take all the credit, though.
See? Did you catch that? A masterclass in how...
Okay, yeah,
Hey, you guys!
Hey, look who's bounced back. Looking good, traveler.
Seems like you've recovered. You won't need to take...
Can I get you a drink?
Huh? You know how to order it?
Handling a drinks order is ridiculously simple.
Paimon believes it. You're clearly a fact. To be totally honest, though, Paimon didn't...
Don't worry, that's completely understandable. Unless...
To put it in the simplest terms, we saw how our enemy stopped when facing an enemy you have no hope of defeat. So, instead of looking for a way to overpower him, we decided for this to work, we had to analyze his modes of attack, confirm who his main target. For added security, we prepared a total of 4 arrays. But the alchemical array absorbed his abyssal power. That power enabled her to do what would other...
What surprised me was that Dainsleif actually, given his history with Rarir, he had every right to sit this one out. But we're extremely...
It must have been a painful choice to make.
Absolutely. He was torn between 2 paths, but in the end, He made his choice, and anyway, however you cut it.
That's the only reason you're here.
Yes. I've thought a lot about it. And I've realized that you, me, and I think this is very important. So I felt I had to.
Well, this is a new one. I'm so moved. I can't even hold my teacup. If that's all, you can leave now.
Do you not want to be friends with me? Or is it that you prefer being coworkers?
What is this, Columbina? Are you deliberately testing my patience threshold? Right now, my politeness module is active. But if you say another word, I swear—
If your politeness module was active, wouldn't you say the word please at some point?
Polonia, please see Lady Columbina.
Will you still invite me to your next tea party?
What?
Yes, I think you will. Bye-bye, dear Sandrone.
Last time, the Wild Hunt escorted you out. Would you rather I handled it myself this time?
We just wanted to, see how you were.
Why? Out of concern for my safety? I hope you didn't seriously think that the Ray here of Solnari would be—
Mostly because you kind of helped us out, so we just wanted to check you were okay.
Oh, don't you worry about that. Tea time is already a write-off. If you're in the mood for tea, go ahead and help yourself. Otherwise, it's going to waste. My coasters are still missing in action, though. Use this notebook instead.
Whoa! Pretty hefty notebook.
You can ignore those. They're just dumps. I doodle and write in my free time. Sometimes I remember the distant dreamlike past. And other times, I grit my teeth and note down all the crazy nonsense going on in the present. Trying to predict the future is like daydreaming. And writing about the present just makes me furious. The past, huh? Although, having said that, the only vaguely interesting memory in my— Who else? Pretty much all the mecha and Fontaine are his personal handiwork.
Wait, are you saying you know?
I mean, I guess we were friendly enough. Yep. In fact, I'm probably the only normal person left who— We used to chat occasionally back when he was still around. Before he passed away, he asked me to I honored his request. I mean, I couldn't let the genius of Lord Artificer Alain Guillotin disappear like that. Would have—
So, that's where—
I just told you, those are my equivalent of crossword puzzles. Alain's work was like epic poetry. Not that there's anything bad about them. I mean, at least— Anyway, while we're on the topic, I might as well tell you about what— Alain Guillotin had two close buddies, Renee and Jacob. They spent their childhood years together in the Narzissenkreuz Institute. They were all quite competitive, so there was some rivalry between them. But it was a friendly rivalry. But beneath the friendship and the rivalry ran something deeper, a sense of nostalgia for the past. Unfortunately, childhood would end, the prophecy would come true, the apocalypse would arrive, and the future would never be. A mad dream that would normally only capture the minds of lunatics begin to take root in their hearts. And if Renee and Alain had been people of lesser wits, that dream would probably have ended up as something for them to joke about in their older years. But alas, they were some of the sharpest minds around. They nurtured that dream with the full power of their intellect, and it grew into something that ate away at their souls. The first of them to fall under its spell was Renee. Against Alain's wishes, he persisted in experimenting on a mutual friend of theirs to try and save their life. Alain did not approve and parted ways with Renee. It's complicated. Alain wanted to believe that Renee only did what he did for the sake— Perhaps the seed that would grow into a nightmare had already sprouted in Renee's mind. Even then, the next time they met, Renee's soul had been completely engulfed by the dream of salvation. His futile attempt to change the tide of fate. And although that wave died down eventually, I hear that it just recently came back with a vengeance. As I understand, Renee wanted to told about his dream of salvation once more. But I'm told that the attempted resurgence finally died out for good. At long last, Renee awoke from his... What do you think of Renee? Do you admire his transcendent genius? Or do you despise him? Dismiss him as an evil madman? Same difference, really. Just a matter of perspective. Really? I can't tell whether Renee no longer exists in this. I don't like fanatics who give up their whole life. Maybe I could understand if Renee had just been an ordinary person. Anyway, that's enough about Renee. No, he managed to put a stop to the first storm whipped up by, to his credit, I suppose, the loss of his family, and after that, the only thing supporting his work was this. But although the desire to save Fontaine drove him to found the Fontaine Research Institute, Alain continued to reject any. I think that formulas and machines derived solely from human, yet Alain's intellect was simply too great. Once he realized that the end of his life was approaching, he finally accepted the truth. He quit working on his formulas, trading them in for the fairy tales that had played such a formative role in. He told me that the director of the Narzissenkreuz Institute used to read those fairy tales to the children. I think that all he wanted at that time in his life was to be able to sleep deeply without being plagued by depression. At the very end, he laid down to rest in the ruins of the former Narzissenkreuz Institute orphan. Many years after that, tensions over competing dreams would once again cause a rift. This time between members of the Fontaine Reach. And that is the story of two people from the Nazis. One went all in on his fantasy of salvation. The other sought desperately to burn bright in his life. I do sometimes wonder, even the grandest tree starts as a tiny seed. So perhaps, for each of them, their mission to save... They were young children with friends and family who mattered to them. Desires to explore the meaning of life. Or maybe they just wanted to find something to anchor themselves within the chaos. But instead, the search for their own salvation took them down the rocky road laid out by fate. Do you think the desire to save oneself is enough of a justification to try and save the world? The way you said that sounded just like Alain. I asked him the same question back. He gave the exact same... No elaboration. Just a quick short answer before getting right back to his work. All right, tea time's over. I owe Arlecchino a favor for telling me these stories. I'll have to bring a whole sack of gifts the next time I visit the house of... I'm gonna go tinker with Polonia now. You guys can do whatever you want, as long as it doesn't involve interrupting. Polonia, exit hibernation mode. Begin diagnostics.